Okay, tonight we're talking about cause and prevention of cancer. And this is probably one of the most dreaded names that's going around. I guess the only thing that's replaced it now is AIDS. That's the other really big name that brings a lot of fear to people. But like all weakness, sickness, and disease, no matter what name you give it, sometimes the name and the fear that comes from the name causes more harm than anything else that you're doing. There's no dis-ease or symptom that's ever killed anybody. Did you know that? Cancer has never killed anybody. And there's a lot, 95% of the people who have been diagnosed with cancer, have died of the treatment. 95%. That's an awesome fact, isn't it? But when fear comes, and when we do a lot of things that actually will destroy this body because of fear. And fear of this name cancer is a big one to people. And since I had it almost 20 years ago now, I know what that fear is like. I know what it's like when someone says you got so many months to live and we can't do anything. But I'm still here. And there's a lot of other people that I've been able to encourage and give hope to that are still here today, that had that gloom and doom given to them. So what I want to do tonight is show you, tell you a little bit about what it is, what causes it, and how it can be prevented. Like anything, you can't cure cancer. It's incurable. Cancer is not something you cure. What is the only thing we can cure? Come on now. Ham. Ham is the only thing we can cure. All right? But that's true. You don't cure diseases, but they're preventable. And you can help the body prevent, and you can help the body fight back and deal with it. One of the first things I learned when I was trying to discover what I was doing wrong in my lifestyle that led to this problem called cancer, one of the first things I had to try to understand is that there is a cause. Number one, that there is a cause, but there is only one healer. Okay? I had to discover that medicine, surgery, even eating right, vitamins and minerals, herbs, all these different things, they're not the healer. When our Creator made this body, He programmed it for health. And only He heals, and only the program which He put within this body can heal. What we have to learn to do is quit interfering with that healing. Because that's what leads to weakness, sickness, and disease. It's our lifestyle. That was the second thing I learned. This name called cancer that causes a lifestyle problem. The lifestyle is not what it should be, and that's what's allowed the body to get into this position of being diagnosed as having cancer. So hopefully I can generate enough interest within you to want to study it further, because I can't go through a lot of proof of these things, but a lot of what I'm going to say tonight should be common sense when you really think about it. So let's first try and define this named disease called cancer. First of all, let's look at weakness, sickness, and disease. Weakness is the first step towards away from health. Weakness is the first step away from health. Then if you don't listen to your body at that point, then sickness starts showing up. There's symptoms of sickness. And if we don't listen to the body at this particular point, then we have this stage of disease. And disease is 2 syllables, dis-ease. And it means that your body, instead of being at ease because it has everything it needs to do its job, it's at dis-ease. It's not at ease. And that's what cancer is. Cancer is a symptom, and it's your body saying to you, I'm not at ease about what's going on here. I'm at dis-ease. And if your body will take care of this name called cancer when it can be given what it needs to be put back at ease. All right? So disease is not disease. You know? Cancer is not disease. You know, like something spooky that we can't identify, and it's attacking me, and it could hit anybody, has nothing to do with our lifestyle of eating, rest, water, or exercise. It's just something that we have to put up with, and somebody's numbered and someone's not. That's a lie. There is a reason for it. But it's not something that's that's just out of our control and we can do nothing about it. If we accept that as a fact, then we have to accept the idea that our Creator didn't do a good enough job when He made these bodies. That's the bottom line. That's what I came to. It says, why? I was questioning God. It says, why is this happening to me? I mean, I'm darkening the doors every time church is open. I'm out witnessing. I'm doing all these things. Why me? I'm a pretty good guy. I'm compared to a bunch of these people out there. I'm a good. I'm a top of the list. I thought. Did you ever have that question come to your mind? You know. And so sometimes we get this idea, well, there's just nothing, it's just something that's hit me. And see, if you accept that idea, then you'll give up, and your body will give up. And if your body gives up, then you're in trouble, because it'll quit on you. It'll stop. It'll fulfill the prophecy that's been made over you. You have 6 months to live. You know? So what we need to understand is that the body goes through these stages of degeneration. Okay, but what we need to learn is what is it that we're doing that's interfering with the life force that our Creator gave to our bodies. What are we doing that's interfering with it? Because if we accept any other reason for our situation, then it's our Creator's fault. Because He just didn't do a good enough job in the way He made me. I had problems accepting that. You know, I really did. I had a lot of problems accepting that as being, because if that's the case, well then, you know, we just down on ourselves. I must be sinning too much, and that's why this calamities come on me. You know, there's a deep, dark sin that I'm involved in. I just need to repent. And that I'm not saying that we're not sinners in something we're doing, because there is some laws that we're breaking concerning our lifestyle. But let's not accept the idea that God's putting this on us to discipline us, because we've been a bad boy, bad girl. Because if we do that, then we need to give our kids a good dose of cancer to teach them something. All right? I don't think we'd do that, would we? I don't think our father and our parents would want to teach us by putting disease on us. Well, you think our Heavenly Father's the same way? So that's one thing, is to know that your Creator has not given up on you. And He wants to teach you something about your body and how to work with this wonderful temple that He made for you to walk and live in during this time. But He's not doing it because you're a nasty person. See, we break the laws that this body operates under. And when we break those laws, the body breaks down. And he's always there to help us, but he also wants us to learn what we need to do to correct that default. But he loves us, and he never gives up on us. Now, if I didn't know that, I probably wouldn't be here today. I says, well, I got 6 months to live. Boy, am I going to enjoy it. You know? Just kind of have a good old time. So let's look at what cancer, the name cancer. First of all, symptoms are just symptoms. They're just manifestations of something that is not in the right order that it should be. So let me throw this at you. Cancer is nothing but aging too fast. It's some part of your body aging too fast is what really cancer is. A cancer cell, which they have no microscope today. There is a microscope that could look at a cancer cell, but you have to understand they have no picture of a cancer cell. So when someone says you have cancer and diagnoses you as having cancer, look up what diagnosis means in the dictionary. It means an educated guess based on experience. The diagnosing of cancer is not a science. It takes a lot of faith because you can't see a cancer cell. You see just the conditions of a bunch of cells that are not normal. And they look at that under a microscope or whatever, then that becomes their evidence for diagnosing you as having cancer. Now, a cancer cell is your own cell going bad. It's not some foreign cell coming in your body attacking you. It's one of your cells in your body, a group of your cells in your body that has gone bad. It's missing something. It's not doing its job. And when that cell's not doing its job, then it's like a bushel of a rotten apple and a bushel of good apples. Do you ever see what happens? When you see a rotten apple and a bushel of good apples, how long will those good apples last? Is that bad apple attacking those good apples? And just saying, I'm going to get you guys. I don't like being alone like this. You know, I'm just going to go after you good apples and make you spoil fast too. Misery likes company. Is that what the bad apples saying to the good apples? Why are those good apples going bad?
Because this one apple's putting off all this bad junk, I guess.
Well, the bad apples pulling energy from the good apples, so it won't go so bad so fast. Do you ever see misery likes company? Do you ever see someone is miserable? They like to make everybody else miserable. That's just a tendency in nature that I've noticed. Not just in humans, you see it in animals, you see it in plants too. See that principle in everything that comes from a seed. So when your cells, we need to ask, what's causing my cells to go bad? You know, what is there in my lifestyle that's interfering with my body and keeping good, healthy cells that make up the organs and glands and cells that make up my body? That's the question we should be asking. Well, first thing we need to understand is, how is a cell made? When you're 20 years of age, a cell is made or exchanged about every 6 months when you're a year old, or when you're 20 years of age. Okay? So just before the cell dies, it divides and leaves another offspring to take its place. When you get to be 40, your cells live to be a year old on the average. When you get to be 60, they live to be a year and a half. And when you get to be 80, they're 2 years of age. Literally, when you get to be 120, which is the length of days you should be getting out of your body as an average, if you have a good lifestyle, then your body really shouldn't be over 11 years of age. When you die, your body shouldn't be over 11 years old because you keep changing cells. All right? Now, when you stop being able to reproduce those cells, that's when you die. That particular part of your body could die before the other part. It's called aging. Okay? We're supposed to grow old but not get old. When you start getting old, then you're aging too fast. That's a form of cancer. Because cancer is your cells aging faster than they should. What do you mean by that? Well, it means that let's say you're 20 all your life. Dream on. Let's say you're 20 all your life. That means your cells would be changing every 6 months. So you're going to live to be 120, right? Now, how many changes will you have of cells in a lifetime? It's 240 times you'll change, right? And then your body just stops. Because you can't make any more changes, those cells wear out, then that particular part of your body dies. It's interesting that oxygen is the reason why the cells change like that and why there's a length in time that your body can live. Your body can't only live so long. And oxygen is the time element, the time mineral. And that's what determines how long you live. But yet without oxygen, you can't live. Isn't that a paradox? All right? So, if your cells live 240 times, they go through that cycle. Now, what if, because of some reason, they're in your lifestyle, you're not supplying what the cells need to reproduce, to replace themselves as they wear out? What if they exchange instead of every 6 months, every 3 months? How many years are you going to get out of your body?
$60.
60 years. All right? Because they're changing, instead of every 6 months, they're changing every 3 months. Well, if they're changing every month, so you're talking about almost 25, 20 years. All right? So see, at any age, you could be accelerating the length of time that each cell lives before it has to be exchanged. And that's what cancer is. They're wearing out too quickly. And some organs in your body could wear out quicker than other parts of your body. That's where the symptom might show up. But it's your own cells going bad, and there's reasons for that. And there's two basic reasons why those cells aren't doing their job. They're not living as long as they should, they're not as healthy as they should be. One is they lack the nutrition that they need. They lack the minerals that they need. Okay? In other words, they just don't have what they need to reproduce themselves. The other reason why they're not doing their job is because they're obstructed. There's too much pizza in them, or peanut butter, or chocolate, Snickers, Cokes. Okay? In other words, your body has to be able to clean itself. It has to keep the waste coming out. And if it can't get it out, it has to dump it. And if it dumps it in the cells, those particular cells are going to get polluted and not do their job. And if you don't put the right raw materials into the body, the right nutrition, then that's the other reason for it. That's the two reasons and causes for this symptom called cancer. So the cause is obstructions and lack of energy reserves or lack of nutrition. Those are the two only reasons for cancer. It's not something coming at you, after you. It's what you're doing in your lifestyle that's causing those obstructions and not giving the body the nutrition that it needs. So let me explain those two. This is in line with our formula for life. Is V, vitality, your vitality is a measure of your health, equals potential, that's your reserves, and you have two kinds of reserve energies that your body needs. And I might put this as a third cause of cancer that I'm running into more this last 10 years than any other time, but it's counted in this potential. You have a potential reserves that's supposed to last you 120 years. If your parents were healthy, then you should be getting some reserves that you're born with. And all you have to do is replace what you use, and those reserves will last you 120 years. So we've got to get those reserves from two sources. One is through the foods that we eat, and the other energy that we need for our body is magnetic energy that we get from our environment outside of our body. So we'll talk about that a little bit too. But we have a potential energy that we must provide for ourselves and replace it, or they'll wear out. They'll get deficient, and then the cells age too fast because of that. They can't last 6 months when you're 20. They can't last a year when you're 40. They can't last a year and a half when you're 60. They can't last 2 years when you're 80, because there's not enough mineral energy, and there's not enough magnetic energy to support the cells. So V equals that potential minus obstructions. And obstructions is anything that interferes with the circulation of the blood to any part of your body. Your blood has to carry the life that your cells need, the nutrition and the energy, the air that they need to function. So the life of the flesh is in the blood. The life is not the blood, but the life of the flesh is in the blood, and the blood carries it around to your cells. So as long as you keep free of obstructions and you keep your potential where it's supposed to be, there's no way you can get cancer. There's no way you can die before your time. If you already depleted your reserves or you're obstructed, then what you have to do is you have to make adjustments in your lifestyle that'll help your body clean out those obstructions and get back into your reserves what's missing. Those are the two things that you have to do to prevent this so-called deficiency to repair itself. Okay? And they'll call that curing or remission. But all you're doing is giving the body what it's needing to do its job. Okay? So let's talk about that potential. You got a potential lifespan of replacing of those cells of 120 years. And the older you are, the longer each cell lives. So that's a good potential. And we need minerals. The cells need minerals, and they get it from your diet. You can't get it any other place, but through your some of these minerals you can only get from foods. All right? So we want to eat foods the right amount, the right time, and in the right way. When you eat your food, you chew it real good, mix it with your saliva, so that under your tongue it can be analyzed, so that the brain can know how to process it when it gets down into the stomach. If you eat on the run and gulp, then there's nothing being told as far as what to do with that food. You just lost out financially in buying the food, and you just lost some reserves from your potential in order to process it, and you didn't get nothing for your money or your time. Now that's going to make your cells age too fast doing that. All right? So you want to chew it good, you want to mix it good with your saliva, and then you want to get a good ratio of the different food groups. You want to get lots of veggies and fruits. Veggies and fruits help to cleanse the body, as well as they give you the fiber and lubrication that your body needs. There's where you get most of your alkaline minerals that your body needs. You can't have cancer unless you're low in alkaline minerals and alkaline foods. All right? So the acid foods are the ones that age you faster than any other food. What do you think is the food group that ages you the fastest? Meats. Meats are the ones that age you the fastest. Makes your cells, stimulates your cells. They give you more energy, but they make your cells work harder, and it wears them out sooner. Okay? So it's like you're stimulating your cells to give out more energy by eating meat, especially your scavengers like tuna, catfish, shrimp, lobster, crab. They kick it. Pork really ages you fast. Rabbit. All your foods that are mentioned in the scriptures that you shouldn't eat. There's a reason. It's because they're scavengers. Our Creator put them in the earth to help clean up the waste. They're not supposed to be in your body as waste. So that's why He said don't eat the four-legged creatures if they don't have split hoof and chew the cud. And the pig has the split hoof, doesn't it? But just don't chew. And pigs like their own waste. I mean, that's one thing there. You got to clean. You got a lot of mud, but they eat up most of the waste in the mud. That's their job in nature. So when you eat their meat, you're getting their waste, plus a bunch of other stuff. Okay? They love dead rats with maggots all over them. And they just gobble them up. They just love that stuff. So see, you're getting things that have high nitrogen in them, and when you get too much nitrogen in your diet, it speeds up the cell activity. That's why people like it. It makes them feel good, but you're burning out. You're aging your cells by making them, instead of lasting 6 months when you're 20, a year when you're 40, and a year and a half when you're 60, and when you get to be 82 years, you're cutting that down, way down, because you're over kicking them. And it's hard to tell people that's not good for you because it makes you feel good. But see, you don't see the long haul here. People think, well, anything that makes me feel good, it's got to be good. But see, it's only for a short period of time. And it's ironical, but the Orthodox, where they try to cheat the symptom, they say it's a protein deficiency. So they give you more protein. It makes you age even faster. Put you on a high protein diet. And they don't see that it's a problem in digesting protein.